Who knows why it happened? Maybe you had too much time to think on a long car trip. Maybe it was a dream, or a song came on the radio, or you saw a movie that you had once seen with him, or happened across an old picture. For whatever reason, you've got an old boyfriend back on your mind. I will admit that I have succumbed to the lure of the old boyfriend several times in my life. So today in this video, we're going to talk about why sometimes we look back, why the people from our past, our first loves from high school and college, can still hold so much power over us years, decades after we last saw them. We'll discuss whether or not it's a good idea to look back, and if you decide to do it, if you decide to get in contact with them, what's the best way to actually approach that? So we're going to be talking about the old boyfriend today. First of all, why is it that we sometimes just get this strong, overpowering urge to contact someone that we knew 40, 50 years ago? Well, the number one reason is nostalgia gets stronger as we age. I don't think that's any secret. We've almost all had a relative that this happened to. But my grandmother, when she was in the early stages of dementia, used to talk a lot about like elementary school. Like she could tell you her second grade teacher's name and go up and down the rows and tell you the name of every kid and where they sat. But she couldn't have told you what she had for lunch that day. And there is something about our brains that operates on kind of a first in, last out type of system. And sometimes those memories from long ago are so much sharper and more detailed and more real than more recent memories. It's just a fact. Number two, I think a lot of times an event in our life will make us stop and pause and turn towards the past. I always say the 3 Ds will make you reflective: death, divorce, and diagnosis. If you've had something like that in your life, you're a little knocked to your knees about something, the urge to look back to an old love can be very strong. A friend of mine, her brother, recently passed away, and she was feeling a lot of grief. They were very close, but his best friend in high school was a guy that she had also dated. And she kept saying, I want to find him, I want to call him, I want to tell him about Dave. And I think that's a very normal impulse, because she could walk around with the friend she has now and say, my brother died. And everybody go, oh my God, that's terrible, I'm so sorry. But there's very few people that actually remember her brother. So it would be, of course, very tempting to call somebody who wouldn't just say, oh, I'm sorry your brother died, which is pretty vanilla, but who could go, oh my God, Dave, are you kidding me? That's horrible. So I think that's another thing too. We want to connect with the people who have the same memories we do. And the older we get, the fewer of them there are. Number three, sometimes what we're really nostalgic for is not the person. It's the way we felt when we were with them all those years ago. Our actual nostalgia is not for the boy who used to be 16, but it's for the girl who used to be 16. The way we felt then. Young, innocent, hopeful, energetic. Sometimes the nostalgia attaches to a person when we're actually nostalgic for an entire era or a part of our whole lives. The fourth one, don't overlook the power of unfinished emotional business. Maybe you had a really abrupt or surprising breakup. You never even understood what happened. Or maybe to the opposite extreme, you just slowly drifted apart. And you're wondering, if you'd known this person at a different age, if this relationship might have gone a lot farther. Either way, there's kind of a what happened in the first case or a what if in the second case that can make us almost just curious. There's an unfinished piece of our own emotional puzzle, and this person seems to hold it. Unfinished business can be a powerful drive to look back. And the fifth one, social media just makes it so darn easy to find them now. It didn't used to be. I remember when we did our 30th high school reunion, and I grew up in a very small town in the South, and there was only about less than 200 of us, fewer than 200 of us in our graduating class. But I remember the 30-year reunion, it was hard to find people. I mean, we were really beating the bushes, going back to where they used to live and trying to find their relatives. There were people we never found. 20 years later at our 50-year reunion, it was so much, Facebook, everything had blown up. It was a snap to find people. We found almost everybody the first weekend that we divided up and started looking. So I think that's part of the temptation too. It's not just kind of a wistful, I wonder. There's your phone right in your hand. You don't have to wonder too long. You can find out. So that's why we do it. But then the question comes, is it a good idea? Weirdly enough, the better an idea it is the lower the stakes it has for you. It can be a great idea to look up an old love if you're merely curious and you're not looking to them to save you. It's okay to look up an old love if you are okay with whatever you find, because you might find a really changed version of the person you remember. Heck, they might be dead. If you are prepared to deal with the disappointment and possibly grief, it's okay. It's okay to do this if it doesn't jeopardize your present relationship. And it's okay to do this if that you're really just seeking to connect. You're not harboring the fantasy that 1975 is going to resurrect itself and they're going to come back and sweep you off your feet. So the lower the stakes, the more safe it is to reconnect with them. It can be super dangerous, though, if you're looking for an escape from your present relationship. If you're desperately unhappy and you think this person somehow will save you or change you, the more expectation and hope you have, if you imagine you're going to walk back in and reconnect at the same level that you did the last time you saw them, that's when it can lead to real disappointment. And I don't think this is too strong a word. It can lead to heartbreak. So if you do reach out, here's the rules. Keep it light and simple. Just kind of make the first email or text message or DM kind of a catch up. This is not the time to sum up everything that's happened to you in the last 40 years or get into some deep seated trauma. Um, it's definitely not a good idea to get into why did you leave me? What were you thinking? What did she have that I didn't have? Nobody likes to be sleepily opening their phone and suddenly be hit with a 40-year-old guilt trip first thing in the morning. So this is not the time to get into why did we not live our lives together. I think that it's also important that you know you're looking for connection, not correction. You can't imagine that going back will let you in any way change what happened all those years ago. Um, you can't rewrite the past, even if you find them, and even if they're a lot like the way you remember them. So the heavier the message, I think the riskier the reaching out can be. So, bottom line, it's risky, but I've done it. I've done it more than once. And I'm happy to say, when I looked at my contacts in my phone list before I made this video, I've actually got among like 40 contacts, 6 of them are old boyfriends. I have a tendency to stay in touch with my old boyfriends, and I have enjoyed considering them points of continuity in my life that matter a lot to me. And I like the fact that I can periodically go, you wouldn't believe what happened. Remember when? Guess who I saw today? To someone who really shares my history. Heck, I mean, I have that kind of relationship with my ex-husband. He called me recently and he was just like to tell me that someone who was a groomsman in our wedding had passed. I saw his Thanksgiving photos recently, and I'm going to call him because all of his cousins were in the picture. I didn't recognize some of them, so I was kind of like, who was that person third from the left? We enjoy the fact that we've got that kind of continuity, that we knew each other in our 20s. We knew each other's families of origin, and that does have, I think, a lot of value. So, risk or not, I've done it. But you have to be prepared for the surprises that come when you open this particular, kind of Pandora's box. And I think here's the bottom line, the really important thing to remember. When you're feeling nostalgic, the person that you're searching for really is yourself. When you get into one of these wistful kind of looking at the past type things. What I think you're frequently trying to get back to is an earlier version of yourself, a type of energy or dream that you had as a younger person. So keep that in mind. You might find them and still not have completely scratched the itch. So I hope this was fun. The holidays, I think, make everybody a little tender, a little tender around the wound. So if you enjoy this video, please like, comment, tell me, have you ever looked up um, an old boyfriend? How did it go? Was it a good idea? Was it a mistake? I'm sure that at least a couple of you will crash in and tell me, because I know some people that have looked back and found their old boyfriends and married them. They were their second or third, or in one case, fourth husbands. So tell me how it went for you. I want to hear other people's stories too. And it really helps the channel if you share or comment or like. And this new thing, hype, please hype me occasionally. I've never been hyped. It could be my early Christmas gift to hype me. It's the little thing on the toolbar that's got the shooting star. I know. Get your readers. Try and find it. I would be so happy to be hyped. So anyway, you might want to look. You might not. Let me know what happens. Bye.